Cal with your 4-minute lesson. Today we're going to actually go off the books a little bit and look at a concept that actually hasn't been into a book yet. So a lot of the videos I'm making are based upon the book series that you see behind me. This one's actually a really cool little topic that I wanted to share with you that is great for songwriters and anybody who wants to get into that sort of creative guitar playing. And what it is based upon is what they call a open EDCAG system. So my system with as I said, the one behind you, is based upon a thing called EDCAG. So you might have heard of the thing called caged. So caged is basically using C-A-G-E-D. And the idea between caged is that you can move these chords up the fretboard to play any one chord in 5 different ways. So for example, G can be played like this, in an E shape, a D shape, a C shape, an A shape, and then a G shape. So the reason why they call it EDCAG is because when we learn the full scale fretboard, your first chord is E. It isn't actually C. C is actually part of what we call the third scale. So we won't go into too much detail in this lesson, but what I want to look at is how we can move these EDCAG chords E, D, C, A, and G, and actually move it up into parts of the fretboard to play different chords, and make it kind of a free open sound. So we'll look at the E chord for the first chord. The E chord can be basically moved up the fretboard to the first fret, which will make it kind of an F. So these chord names will be quite complicated. It'll be like a F minor 7 flat 5 augmented 5th or whatever. It doesn't actually matter too much. What we call it is a variation. So it'll be E chord, an F variation, a G variation, an A variation. And how we're working it out basically is through the musical alphabet. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D. So remember, in the musical alphabet, the only thing you've got to watch out for is there's no sharp between B and C, and no sharp between E and F. So big cats eat fish. So when we went from E, we got E, F, eat fish. And then we went from B to C, B, C, big cats. And the rest of it have all sharps in between it. So what you can do to have a bit of fun with this is actually strum up this E chord and then moving to say the 7th fret, the 5th fret, you're moving around like that. So you're going from an E chord to a G variation, to an A variation, to a B variation, to a C variation, to a D variation. So it means when you're writing songs, rather than having a G, C, and D, you can have a G, a C, and a D. So a combination of those. So you can put a G, and then you might have a D up here, a C down there, and then to a C, G, like that. So you can move this up all the way up the fretboard. It works the best in what they call natural keys, so E's and G's and A's and B's. In the accidental keys, sharps and flats, it sounds a bit kind of wild, can sound a bit more challenging, but if that's the sound you want for your song, by all means you can still use these, because there's no rules, there's only guidelines. So that's kind of your movable E shape. So you can really have a lot of fun with that and actually play every chord in the musical alphabet with just one shape, and actually really move around and explore the fretboard just using that one movable shape. Yeah, it's such a great creative device for writing songs. So that's your 4-minute lesson. Thank you.